everybody, and welcome to Rise of the Podcast. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Kara.
And I'm ready to move to Pennsylvania and become a Mennonite because I'm tired of technology.
Well, like you were just telling us the one story where you copied something to a hard drive and it disappeared, and then this thing crashes constantly all the damn time. Are we up now? Are we good?
We are good so far. This is like...
And I mean, Chris, if you really didn't want technology, we do have Amish communities around.
but
So, or is that a little
Pennsylvania-
too hardcore for you? Chris is gonna be an Amish man.
I've got the beard.
I mean,
My grandpa used to give
kinda.
me crap all the time because this is like the style of beard that Amish people have.
absolutely.
And he
It's true.
hated Amish people.
What? Why?
Because he had a farm and there were other Amish farmers adjacent to him, and they would just like... He said they were the worst.
Really?
He's like, he just hated interacting with them. I'm not passing any judgment on him. I always went,
This
ooh,
is just
cool
your
horse and
grandpa.
buggy.
Yeah.
But yeah, my grandpa was hardcore anti-Amish.
Well, chat's on
Interesting.
fire. That's exciting.
Oh,
Our
congratulations,
chat is on
Gabe.
fire.
Wait, did he pass
you
his test?
What? I'm not going to tell you. You have to check chat later.
Oh, you're so funny.
Yeah, he said I passed my test. Hello, by the way.
Yay!
Way to
He
go,
did praise
Gabe.
hands too.
Yay! That's
That's
funny.
why he said let's do three anyway for good luck.
Seriously,
Awesome.
third time's a charm, right?
I am recording, by the way.
Oh, I forgot to ask. It's my MO to ask right at the beginning. What the
Yeah,
heck?
well, you should have because I wasn't recording for the first one when it as soon as it went boom and shut down.
Okay, so that's the reason I didn't ask, because all of a sudden you got kind of upset, and so I was like, let's not even ask, because you either caught it or something else happened.
Yeah, no, it's like
So-
literally so for those of you watching at home, not live, this screen comes up and counts down until we go live. As soon as I turned it off, we lost the internet. So it was like literally the thing went, Jeremy started doing the intro, internet down.
It just dumped.
And I was like, nah. But I
Not
also didn't hit
Black Hawk
record,
down,
so it would have been
internet
a
down.
busted intro anyway. So what do you do?
Anyways, well, okay, so it's extremely hot here today. I got like sunburnt. I don't know how well you can see.
Oh my God, you're not even in focus. I said focus on you sitting way back in your chair.
Okay, so for those of you from southern states, this is Minnesota tan.
It's hard to see.
Are you still out of focus?
No, I feel like I'm in focus.
All right, well, good enough. That's what you're getting this week.
Yeah, Star Wars is very clear. Yeah, my shirt's very clear.
All right. Maybe it's just your face that's blurry.
But no, so Kara and I, we have, my yard just takes forever to mow. It's like 2+ hours. I have a little push mower. So, my dad promises me things always. Like everybody knows. Like one time he said he was giving me a banjo and it looked like a boat anchor. It was just, all the strings were gone. It was like
There was no
warped.
bridge. It was just...
It was a bad deal. So
A
this
real bad
mower,
deal.
he tells me, hey, look, these people, they don't want to use it anymore because the belt just pops off, right? I used to use this mower, so I kind of had an idea what it looks like. So I go over there. First thing that's wrong with the mower, battery's dead. Second thing, the front left tire, or the front right tire is completely flat. It has a huge, like, dry, rotted slash in it.
Heidi Hamilton wants to know how hot is really hot in Minnesota.
Well,
It
hit
was like
90 today.
And our car read 104.
Yeah.
It was 93 in Cloquet.
So Heidi, I know for a fact we've been hotter than you for a couple days. Because I keep keeping tabs on Springfield weather because we're coming down there next week.
If you want to... So this is an interesting thing. I've been to Missouri a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Missouri is insanely humid.
Oh, heck yeah. I know
It's
it is.
outrageous. Ugh, it's so bad.
Mm-hmm.
They got cool stuff there, but like I don't like sweating that much.
I know.
Yeah. We're going to Silver Dollar City.
I don't even know what that is.
So it's that place is awesome. You
Yeah.
go down to Branson.
Yeah, so we're going to be in Springfield, and then we're going to go to Branson for Silver Dollar City, and we're going to hit up some
couple-hour
others.
drive.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's sweet with the. When I went down there, do you want to hear the story of me going to Branson?
Yes,
Yeah,
tell us the
let's do
story of
it.
you going to Branson.
Swanky said hotter than by me, but my area rarely goes above 88, 89.
Nice.
See? Yeah. there
Tiffany
you go.
said she cannot wait for you guys to get down there.
Girl,
Heidi said
I
you
can't
beat
wait
us
either.
here. So we were the hottest of the 5 people that are participating. I might have told this story on the podcast before. I can't remember. This is the vacation where I decided where I was going to go by flipping coins. Do you remember
fun.
the story?
I don't.
So I was working at the gas station. I got a big road atlas that had the entire United States, and half of it was on the left page, half of it was on the right page. So I started by flipping a coin, and like heads was right, tails was left. It doesn't really matter. It was some combination of that.
Yeah.
And then I cut it north and south, and I cut it east and west, north, south, east, west, north, south, east, west. I kept flipping until I landed on like a general area of a state. And I got to Branson, and I was like, what's Branson? I'd never heard of Branson, Missouri.
That's crazy.
And I was like, And this is 2007
Okay.
that this happened in.
Over a decade ago.
Oh, shut up. The story is over. We're moving on. This is the genesis of my hatred of Iowa, too.
Oh, funny.
Ooh, we haven't heard the, like, besides it being stinky and flat and...
Well, okay. So we go down. We decide to split it over 2 days. We go from Duluth. We spend some time at the Mall of America.
Who's we?
Sorry, me and my friend Corey.
Got it. Okay.
So Corey, who has never once been mentioned on the show before.
Correct.
Gabe says, come to Puerto Rico. We have the best food, coffee, and good temps. See, it being an island nation, you get the ocean breeze everywhere you are.
Did he say coffee?
Yeah.
I want a coffee right this second.
Frankie
That
says
sounds really
Jeremy
good.
with about 9,000 E's and Y's. But only one J and M.
Huh?
But only one J and one M. So only vowels extra. J.
Otherwise,
Otherwise,
being
I have to only just pause your story.
No one interrupts my story.
I only have to pause your story. So Facebook does the stupid thing where it was like your second you like buy a Lamborghini with, or you like get blasted into space. Every single time it's Frankie.
Nice.
Every single time.
Really?
I just don't tag them because
the ads don't work on the desktop for me.
Oh,
so every time I do it, I just hit ad, and then nothing happens, and I have to hit a letter, and then it's like, well, then I'm just gonna pick.
yeah.
Right.
And I have 5 friends, so it's like if I do like L, nothing shows up.
I think my second ad is always Ashley.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's always Frankie.
What's your first one, me?
Reason.
I think
no,
my
it's
first
probably
I was gonna
Kara.
say I think the first one's always Jeremy.
I don't know why it's Frankie. That's what's so funny. Okay.
Because Facebook's been listening about your bromance with Frankie.
Although I've talked about this a billion times. So Derek comes up to me and he's like, "Oh, I got to restring my guitar." Not even a half an hour later, I got an ad on Reddit saying, "Looking for guitar strings? Come on down to Guitar Center." It's like, you sons of.
What were you and I talking about? We were talking about something on the podcast, then like later that night it popped up.
It was on your ad. I don't remember what it was, but
yeah.
Well, I told you guys a story. Mimi and I were talking about rugs, specifically Ruggable. And then later on that day, I get an ad on Facebook for Ruggable.
And before Ruggable ads show up on my Facebook now.
Right? It's creepy. It's like,
is
dude.
creepy. But we've got.
Oh,
We're double tangent. So you got to finish your Branson story.
I got another tangent now.
Okay. And then we said a riding lawnmower story and comments.
So speaking of dirty internet tricks, I am almost 100% sure Walmart sells your email address.
Probably.
Oh, sure, of course.
Because I had never created an account through Walmart before. I decided to sign up and try their grocery delivery thing.
Yeah.
Literally the same day I signed up for it, I started getting like 30, 40 like spam emails that I've never seen before every single freaking day into my main inbox.
Really?
So I'm going through like, report as spam, report as spam, report as spam. It's always like, buy Viagra with a 1 instead of an A or I, that stuff. Or see Alice with 5 A's, that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever, like, it's like, and it's like literally the only thing I ever gave my email address to that day was that I hadn't accessed before was Walmart. So thanks, Walmart.
Yeah. See,
So-
that's why you have a junk mail. I have
but
a
then
junk
he was going to be
email.
doing a business transaction. So it wasn't like he signed up for Walmart Rewards. He was going to do Walmart delivery.
I suppose, yeah.
There is a cool trick you can do with Gmail. It's just you have to have the gumption to be able to do it or whatever. But you can insert periods don't affect your email address in Gmail. So you could, when you signed up for Walmart, you could do c.brown21 at Gmail and you'd still get your email to C Brown. But if they sold your email, you could see it would be categorized by to c.brown21 and then you could call them out for selling your email.
I know that C.Brown21 works because there's some freaking guy in Baltimore that signs up for all of his crap with C.Brown21 at gmail.com.
Way.
So I get all this stuff. It's like, oh, your rental car is ready, Mr. Whatever. And his name's like Charles Brown or something.
Here's what you should do. Just be like, cancel.
I cancel all of his stuff. I've canceled hotel reservations. I've canceled food
you
deliveries
really?
all the freaking time.
He probably gets pissed. He's like, what the heck, dude?
Don't use my email address. I literally, in one day, I canceled airline tickets, a hotel, and a rental car. So
Hot
his
dang.
vacation was ruined.
Ah!
I was like, "You're," and then because he's not going to get the confirmation email for getting canceled, I got is like, "We're confirming the cancellation of your reservation." I was like, "Yep."
So he is arriving at all these places and poor customer service people have to make up to him. We don't know how you're canceled. It says right here.
Yeah, no, I can't stand it. It happens all the time. And there's also a Charlotte Brown somewhere in like Alabama that uses it sometimes. I'll get like her oil change, like a freaking Meineke oil change center emails all the freaking time.
It's probably some little old lady.
So I have to tangent really quickly.
Oh gosh.
So
somebody keep track of how deep we are. Go.
I got an email this morning at 5:50 in the morning that somebody in Ukraine, Russia, or Ukraine.
Ukraine is a country.
Kiev, Russia, hacked my Instagram account. So whatever, it's like, hey, you logged in. And what's frustrating is it's a two-factor authentication with email and phone. So I don't know if they like simmed me or what. I mean, I changed it immediately and I haven't seen any other things phishing going on. But I mean, side tangent, I use a password manager. All of my passwords are different. So I'm not worried if they have one.
Yeah, you don't need to tell me about it.
Yeah, if one's compromised, it's fine because it doesn't match to anything else. At least I got that going for me. And I have two-factor wherever I can, wherever they allow it. But anyway, so it was a funny story at work. And so, the Colonial Pipeline on the East Coast got hacked by the Russians. And
what's the Colonial Pipeline?
It like feeds all the gas stations on the entire East Coast.
Oh, okay. So it actually is like something. Okay.
Yeah, and then so it got hacked, and so they
How do you hack a pipeline? Oh, sorry. I'm
the computer system that controls the pumps, maybe.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
sorry.
and
I was like, someone just like drills a little hole in it and starts like taking it.
Yeah, and so they paid. They had to pay
I remember you telling me
$5 million
about this.
or whatever, and so.
Because I was like, why did they have a backup? So
I'm
they
like,
just hit kill.
just have backups, right?
Yeah.
It's simple. Anyways, so another company, the United States or the world's third largest meat packing company,
the Green Bay Packers
got hacked by the Russians. Okay, and so now Biden came out and said that he's gonna threaten Russia now. And that they better stop hacking because, there's no way that the Russian regime doesn't understand what's going on inside of its country.
Yeah.
And it allows it to happen. So they better crack down on it. So Rich actually cracked a really funny joke and said, oh, you take our oil? It's fine. But touch our meat during the, summer of barbecue season? You're going down, now it's time to enact.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
funny. It's true. It's true.
But
so you can walk to a barbecue, but you can't grill gas.
Exactly. So it was really funny. But so apparently the meat industry, though, they had their systems back up in within 24 hours, and I don't think they paid. So they must have
Look
had
at those
backup.
smart people. Who'd have thunk?
Yep. A bunch of meat packers know how to handle, but a computer-controlled pipeline system.
They say calling someone a meathead's a compliment now. It's like, hey, you meathead, look at you, good job.
Yeah,
Sorry about that
genius.
clap.
You're a genius.
All right, so
to back
tangents.
are we going to Branson?
Do we have anything else we need? What was?
Well, it was just the Russians hacking me, and then the pipeline, and then the meat. Then we backtrack. I think we're back to Branson.
Okay, so Branson.
And chat's been awfully quiet.
Well, I think they're probably sitting on pins and needles waiting to hear this epic
Branson story.
They know we go on tangents easy enough on our own.
So, well, no one's watching on YouTube. Interesting. That's a bummer. Anyway. I just decided to check in. Anyway, so
it's fine.
Branson. So I flipped a coin. We decided we were going to go to Branson. We broke it up driving down into 2 days. So we went from Duluth to, we actually stopped at the Mall of America for a little while.
Fun.
Did some stuff there. Actually, we watched Hellboy 2 in the theater there.
Oh.
It was crazy hot. So we were like, we'll kill some time at the mall. And it was like, we got some lunch, and then we watched a movie just to sort of cool off.
Cool off, yep.
And then we went, went from the cities down to Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay.
And we followed an ambulance all the way down there. And this ambulance was easily going 95 miles an hour.
From the cities?
Yeah, no joke. It was probably Albert Lee. It was definitely Minnesota.
Wow.
And it's we went down to the Mall of America in the middle of the afternoon. So it's nighttime.
Yeah.
By the time we were whatever, but it's we get down there and we'll either get a hotel or get a campsite or something. We had tents with us.
Yeah.
So
that's fun.
We'll figure it out. And so we get down there and we're following we see it way off in the distance and let's try and reel it in. We'll make some good time, right? And we were going like 95 the entire time and never caught up to this freaking ambulance. I cannot believe how fast this ambulance was going.
Unreal.
Dang.
And of course, we're getting like terrible fuel economy and everything, but whatever. It's like we were 20
You're
years
getting
old
there
at the
faster.
time.
Right.
Just anyway, so we get down to Kansas City, Missouri, and it's like 1 trillion degrees out at like 1:30 in the morning.
Oh man, I've
like
been
one of those
there.
nights where it's like there's no breeze.
Yep.
And it's like we ain't camping in this, and then we find some hotel or whatever. We each kick in like $50, get the hotel, get a room for 7 hours.
Right.
We can take a shower, whatever.
Longer than we had in Denver.
Oh.
This hotel is partnered with this theme park that they have, where if you stay there, you get free water park passes.
Ooh,
so we're like,
Cool.
let's go to the water park in the morning, beat the heat. It's like 50 degrees the next morning.
Oh my
course
goodness.
it
Of
is.
course.
So I was like, screw it, let's go, right? And we were literally the only people there. Nobody was at this. I've never been at a water park that was open, where literally as fast as you could run, you could get back on a ride.
That's sweet.
It was incredible. And it got a little bit drizzly later on. I was like, who cares? You're already wet.
Right.
It's
Right.
a water park.
Right.
So we did the water park, and then the weather started getting worse. So okay, well, let's get down to Branson, right? And we're just ahead of this thunderstorm the whole rest of the way down to Branson. It was a few hour drive.
Yeah.
And we get into Branson, and like really beautiful area, like geologically, like there's like hills and stuff, and then like
Oh, you're starting to get into the Ozarks, I think.
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're going to be in the Ozarks. That's Springfield is the Ozarks.
I didn't know it went up that high.
So it's really nice looking down there. So we're like, oh, this is cool, whatever. And then we stop at a gas station to see like what different campsites were around and stuff like that. And we asked like, oh, it's a good one, whatever.
Yeah.
And they direct us to like, it's like Branson's here. We came in this way. And then like we ended up like here-ish. Like so we're basically the exact opposite side of the town of where we need to go. So ended up driving. Again, I knew nothing about Branson. This is 2007. There's barely the internet.
Right.
You're
didn't
using
know-
MapQuest.
Yeah, literally, I had printed out instructions on how to get there. Didn't do any research whatsoever about what was down there, and we started driving through, and it's like Las Vegas. It's like what is this town? And there's like there's a big billboard for Yakov Smirnov's doing a big thing, and there's all these restaurants and this and that, and like we're driving through, it's like holy crap, this place is insane. And then we finally get to the campsite. It's $17 a night.
That's cheap.
It's super cheap, and there's a gas station / laundromat / pizza place that's like the main hub, and then they have all these campsites like fanned out around the thing or whatever. And even the $17 a night one has like this giant pad. You can put a 40-person tent up on if you wanted to.
Wow.
Back up a pop-up tent or camper or something.
Cool.
There's a gazebo and a barbecue thing like all set up on there. And then like we were like the first spot in. There's a locker room style shower thing, and there's a hot tub and pool that you can just go and use. It's like this is the best place ever.
That's cool.
And then so like we spent about $20. They had an arcade like built into the pizza place thing or whatever, and we were playing like Time Bandits 3 or something. And we spent about $20 worth of quarters on that. And then got a pizza. We ordered the pizza. And then we're like, okay, we should set up our tent, like, because the weather is coming or whatever, right? We pop the trunk. As soon as we pop the trunk, instant rain, as hard as it's ever rained in my life. And we're like, so like we pull the thing out. We're like in the gazebo trying to get the tent set up, and the tent's too big. And we're like, screw it, let's just sleep in the car.
So you guys slept in the car, huh?
So we slept in the car the second night with a pizza, so it's like all hot, like pizza humidity.
Just steamy in there. People were like, what's going on?
It's pizza.
So then
Pizza. Just kidding.
So then the next morning, we get up, we do whatever, take a shower, and on our way to the campsite, there was this giant sign for Silver Dollar City. So we asked people, like, what's Silver Dollar City? Like, oh, it's an amusement park, and it's like Old West themed. We're like, yes, we will do that.
That's super cool.
So they had 3-day passes that were the same price as a 1-day pass if you stayed at this campsite. It's like, screw it, let's get 3-day passes. Like we had planned on being down there for a couple of days anyway.
Yeah.
So we get the 3-day passes, we go in. the coolest place I've probably ever been. They've got like a blacksmith that you can go and like walk up to, and he's like making stuff, and they have like glass blowers, and you can buy their stuff and go around, and they have like this old west like gunfight reenactment thing going on. It's like pow, 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 like
Westworld, yeah.
And they have roller coasters. They have a cave you can walk through.
What are we gonna do with Chip?
It's so freaking cool. It's awesome.
I've been in the cave.
Tiffany and Jody.
Right?
The cave is dope. There's like a cabin in there that somebody lived in like 200 years ago.
There's bats all over in there.
Cool.
And stuff. You know the bat that's Steve Bart, the bat?
Yeah.
He's from Silver Dollar City.
No kidding.
Yeah. My brother stole a stuffed bat that I got from Silver Dollar City.
This place is hype. It's awesome.
Super freaking cool.
Yeah, no, it's been, gosh, Tiffany, how long have you guys been married? Because that's when I went to Silver Dollar City. That would have been, what, 2009?
Swanky said I got him sold on going there. It's dope.
We're going to be
Branson
there
in
next
general is
weekend.
just amazing.
Well, come on down, Swanky.
Yeah.
Tiffany said the bat hit him in the chest, or hit her in the chest.
What?
Who said that?
Tiffany.
Yes, Tiffany.
And then there's a billion other things to do in Branson too. So we got 3-day passes. We literally spent the entire day there. I got sunburnt because I wasn't planning on being outside doing cool stuff all day. And so then the next day we just like went into Branson and like bummed around, like went to a restaurant and checked out some stuff or whatever. And then the weather's supposed to be bad the third day, and we're like, screw it, let's just go home.
Yeah.
Right. And then the plan always was we're just gonna have straight shot.
Yeah.
Branson to Duluth. It's like 14 hours or something. And so we leave early in the morning. We were also out of money at this point. We had enough money for gas to get up. We're 20 years old.
Oh, I love
Right.
So we're like, we can do this trip for like $150 each. And that's all we had. And we had like, literally, we had a full tank of gas. Between the two of us, we had like $40 more for gas. So it's like, if we, like, we'll hit a gas station in like northern Missouri or southern Iowa, and then that's got to get us home. And so we're going, and it's...
Oh, this is why you hate Iowa.
Yes, so this is the return trip. So first of all, I miss a turn. I'm driving first. I miss a turn. We were going to go back through Kansas City, like take 35 back up.
Yep.
I ended up going through freaking St. Louis.
Oh, no.
Which is slower, but whatever. It's not that much slower, but I was like, crap. So, like, I accidentally have visited St. Louis. It's fine.
You got to see the arch.
Well, here's the thing, though. Like, if you're tight on gas, you don't want to make mistakes.
Yeah. That's absolutely right. Swanky, this is Branson, Missouri. It's basically on the border of Missouri and Arkansas. So we're going, like, we finally get out of
St. Louis.
So in St. Louis, we switched. I was like, I'm too tired to deal with this.
Yeah.
Do you want to just drive for a while? So he takes over. Corey takes over. And we basically get to like the Iowa border, and we're coming in from a vector that I'm used to the 35 way coming down. So we're coming in on weird highways. Just like, I'm looking at a literal road atlas, like piecing the journey together.
Right.
And then finally we find a place in Iowa where we can cut over and get to 35. So when we get back onto 35, we switch again. So now I'm driving. I had napped for a while, like I was good to go. But so remember, we were hauling ass down. So like, we're going to go like 90 all the way back because we just want to get home, right?
Right.
And so it is, again, like, so we got up ahead of the thunderstorm, but it's just hot, 90 degrees, 1,000,000,000% humidity, AC's questionable in the car.
Right.
So I was like, it's like windows cracked. No offense to Iowa, except literally 100% of the state is farms. So it's all smells like cow manure and chicken manure because that's what they use for fertilizer.
Right.
And it's like, when it's hot, the smell just like bakes into
Kansas
everything.
to me is the same way.
It's
Southwest Minnesota is the exact same.
Well,
too.
yeah, it's all the same.
Just kind of like that one, yeah.
Yeah, basically from like Iowa to Colorado and northern Missouri to southern Minnesota. That's the grain belt.
Because east of Denver, then as soon as you get through Denver, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But incredible. The
East
best
of
driving
Denver, you're
ever.
like, what is this farmland?
Yeah.
I guess I've driven through Colorado before, but I until we went, I don't think I ever paid attention.
Yeah, it's
I
like
don't
flat. Denver mountains.
Yeah.
Yep.
And East Colorado's sketch.
Okay, so anyway, so it's hot and manure. Is that just why you hate it?
Yeah. Well, so
Did you get stranded?
I think it's stranded. I got pulled over.
No.
Just south of Des Moines, I'm going easily 95 miles an hour.
Ooh.
And I blast by. I see there's a Stady sitting on the road, and I see him. I have no way I'm going to slow down in time.
Right.
I blew by him. I just pulled over.
Yep.
And about 30 seconds later, he rolls up behind me. And he's like, going a little quick, huh? And I was like, yeah. And so this is the first time I've ever experienced this. Instead of doing the transaction at my car, he made me get out of the car and go and sit in the passenger seat of his car.
Interesting. I've had that happen once.
And then, so like he's got the computer thing, so he's like punching in my ID. My license is expired.
Yes.
But because it was Iowa, I was like, I renewed it. They didn't give me my new one yet, right? Like it's in the mail or whatever. And he's like, fine. And it also wasn't my car. It was Corey's car.
Right.
So I don't have any insurance thing or anything. It's my buddy's car. And he's like flat dead in the passenger seat. Like he didn't wake up for this.
Crazy.
Like he is just passed out.
It would have been funny if the cop goes, he blasts that stupid horn, wakes Corey up.
Well, yeah, because he never even had to turn the siren on because I pulled over on my own volition. Yeah. So, like, and I'm in his car for like 20 minutes. The Major League All-Star break was happening and the home run derby was on. So we're listening to the home run derby as he's writing up this ticket. Car? Yeah. So we're listening to the home run derby while this is happening or whatever. And like, it was all fairly cordial or whatever. It's like, I wasn't trying to say I wasn't speeding. He wasn't trying to be a jerk about it.
Right.
So 25 over the limit is like felony level speeding. Like you can get like just no more driving for you, right? He gave me a ticket for going 79 in a 70. So it was like under the 10-mile threshold. So it was like...
Is the stream still up?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. It's not saying we're dropping frames. We also don't have any connection.
Well, we just got chatting.
I just got an email from Restream and it said, hey, your stream went for 26 minutes.
We're back on the freaking neighborhood church. Frick. Well, we'll keep recording.
You want to test their internet?
Man, I had this great story going and nobody gets to hear it. How long have we been recording for? 27 minutes, so it just must have gone down if it did.
Yeah, I got an email and it just said, hey, you're good to go.
Chunky download. If we can just hit 4 up, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like, I think it might have been sort of intermittent because I got a... Okay, OBS reconnected. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Rise of the Podcast.
Does it continue the same stream at least?
I think so.
Hopefully it does.
Wow.
Ooh, boy, we are dropping a lot of frames, though. Ugh. Hey, so it wouldn't be a Rise of the Podcast stream if we didn't have internet problems.
Seriously?
Huh.
Do you want me to bring my phone closer?
If you want to try doing that.
Well, it's green yellow now. It's green yellow, isn't it? Is it better? Are we all right? Did it level out?
Oh, there's red.
It's just bouncing all. It's going between like 700 and 3,000.
And now we get to watch Kara. Hello. Okay, that was creepy. I'm sorry. Okay, won't do that again.
Sorry, I was reading Swanky's comment.
What'd Swanky say?
He said, Q Price is Right got the game wrong music. And then, we're back up. So we were down for about a minute. We were chunking along here. Our internet switched to the local Wi-Fi instead of Jeremy's Wi-Fi. Trying to see. I wish I could prioritize this. Yeah, his phone isn't even showing up. Oh.
Can you forget their internet? And we know the password.
So the problem is, like, when Jeremy's not here and I need to do stuff, I need to be connected to it.
Right. Well, we know the password for it, so couldn't you?
I don't know the password for it.
We can always just write it down.
That's true. So he said Starlink's looking better every stream.
All right. Now I'll say this.
It's true.
Right, it says we're connected to your phone. Connected, secured. Are we?
I brought it a little bit closer.
Oh, OBS is reconnected. Okay, hey, we're back again.
How are our frames? I think my phone was getting a little hot in the window. I think that's maybe what happened.
We're looking good now. No, it did switch back. No, still connected to your phone. Oh my goodness, what a great podcast, huh? We'll ride up the storm. Ransomware attack.
The Russians are trying to bring us down.
Yeah, so here's what happened. For some reason, Jeremy's phone decided to not have internet. So the computer automatically is like, oh, I know another Wi-Fi. I'm going to jump to that one. So it's the garbage local Wi-Fi that we've been dealing with. So then it just basically was like ignoring Jeremy's phone connections. And then he readjusted it. And that became the better choice. And then it switched back to that. So we've been disconnecting and reconnecting to 2 different internet streams. We're looking a lot better now.
Mm-hmm.
So I unplugged it and I moved it out of the window. So hopefully like the heat, it cools down a little bit maybe.
Yeah, Smikey said it's very freezy and downy, and I feel like I'm doing an internet push-up. Up, down, up, down.
Up, down.
Brad says I can deal without gas and meat, but not rise to the podcast. Well, we appreciate that.
That was the final straw.
Yeah, we'll get Biden working on it.
Okay, so here's what we need to do.
Yeah.
We should have a Rise of the Podcast barbecue for our 3rd anniversary.
Well, there you
And
go.
invite people to come up and have a barbecue with
That'd be
us.
sweet. Do it on the...
Maybe in our new building.
Yeah, say do it on the roof of the new building.
There you go. Ooh, I'll make a nice little garden area up there. It'll be great, guys. Y'all should come up and just hang out with us.
You'd be on the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you gave a weird face. I was just wondering what that face is for.
The stupid internet really pisses me off. That's
No,
all
it
there is
does,
to
and
it.
it's being chunky still, but
Yeah.
audio should still be coming through.
That's what you're here for anyway.
Can somebody tell me the last part of the story that I was telling?
Cordial,
Gabe says
you
he's
guys
down
are
for
listening
barbecue.
to the, you guys are
Swanky
listening.
says he's down for barbecue. We get
Boom,
barbecue
guys,
going.
see, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But you were talking about, you were listening to the baseball game, home run.
I'm just wondering how far the stream got before.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Anyway, well, we'll just summarize. I got pulled over in Iowa, going out
Oh, you were just
absurdly
talking about
fast.
being a felony.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, because he charged you for 79.
Yeah, he wrote me up for
in-
79 instead of like 95.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, which was like, because I was looking at the thing, because it has all the different classes of like ticket or whatever.
Yeah.
So he got me just inside of like tier 1. So, have you ever gotten a speeding ticket?
Yeah, like 20 of them.
So, how much is an average speeding ticket in Minnesota?
120.
150.
So for everything, or
So 0 to 10 is like, I thought it was like 150, but maybe it's only like 110, 120.
I thought,
See,
I thought all my tickets were
more
120.
than that after all the filing fees and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So my ticket in Iowa for 9 over.
You have to pay on the spot, don't you?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I had 6 months to pay for it. If I had to pay on the spot, we would have been able to get home.
Yeah,
I would have
that's
had no
true.
money left.
Chris would have gone to the clank.
If you go out if you get pulled over out of state, I think they can make you pay on the spot.
Oh, okay. Expired license. Okay, yeah. So I had an expired license. I got away with that by saying that my new license in the mail. I didn't have proof of insurance because it's my buddy's car. He's dead asleep in the passenger
Yep.
seat. So I was like all these dodgy things, but because I pulled myself over, basically, he's being real nice to
Yeah.
me. So, JJ Henry Henriksen wants to know if you got any tickets in the Mustang. I'm sure you did.
Oh my goodness.
You took out that
Hi.
dumpster with it.
Oh man, I know. I didn't get any like speeding tickets or anything in it. I went to a lot of car shows with it, but I did not
What
get any tickets.
vehicle?
He
Did you?
owns it now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, he owns it now.
That's a sweet car.
He was also down at.
Did you paint it or does it still have the black fender?
No, he painted it.
No,
It
that's
looked
what I asked him.
gorgeous.
Oh, nice.
Oh no.
What color is it?
It's the vintage burgundy stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. He was also at GalaxyCon in the cities at the same time we were,
Oh.
but we didn't know until he saw pictures, and he's like, "I was just there."
Oh,
So,
dope.
So-
what vehicle did you get the most tickets in?
Oh, I bet the Subaru.
No, it's probably the Dakota.
RX-7?
It was the Dakota.
You did all sorts of derelict stuff in that
I
thing.
did so much stuff in that.
You would
truck.
think it'd be a fast vehicle, and
No,
no.
it just needs to be the most comfortable vehicle.
Well, no, so I'll make a 10-second story. Is when we cut through a public park, and I drove up a hill to lose David, and David followed me and just smoked. the
Wait,
front of
you
his-
were off-roading?
in a public park.
What is wrong with you?
Oh yeah, no.
Did I tell you about the?
It was at. We drove up through there and then like through the trees and like down by all the
Jeremy.
playground and everything. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jeremy,
Anyway, so David,
what if there's a little
David
kid?
was driving up and he just smoked this hill and he hit it hard. I thought he ripped his oil pan off. He's driving home and then like a day or two later, Knock on the door. David and I are downstairs playing Xbox. Al answers the door. He's like, David, Jeremy, get up here. We go up there, and it's a cop holding David's license plate. It's like, we found this in the middle of the park. We're like, oh, we're looking for that. He's like, yeah, don't ever drive through there again, and he gave it back to David.
Who was it?
I don't remember who the cop was.
It definitely wasn't Beckman.
No, he
Hey,
would
let's
have
not say officer name.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
That's
that's
probably
true.
the most appropriate course of action.
But anyways, so yes, yeah, I was very derelict in that vehicle.
Well, so probably in a similar time frame, you know the hockey rink on Pinehurst Park?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did I tell you that we got a car stuck on the rink there?
No, I didn't know.
It was just between winter and spring, like, so the rink was still open and stuff, but like there were warm days, so the ice got a little bit soft, and we were doing donuts in somebody's parents' car.
Yeah.
And we get it stuck like dead center of the rink, and there's 5 of us in this 4-door sedan. And we're like pushing, and it's a manual, so only 2 of us know how to drive it. And we're pushing, and it's like a cop drives by as we're doing this, and we're like, we are so freaking busted.
Right.
And we finally get it out. The rink is destroyed. It's just tire marks everywhere.
It's funny.
And we get out, and I can't believe that we did not get busted.
That's super funny.
Anyway, so
Good
back
Lord.
to
So you hate Iowa, but the state patrol was really nice to you.
he was really nice, but so imagine this entire time I'm sitting in his car, just smelling manure, getting a speeding ticket, whatever. Like, and so like he asked me, he's like, why are you driving so fast, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, it's like obviously, see, he's like, I'm from northern Minnesota.
Yeah.
It's like I'm just we left Branson this morning. We're just trying to get home. And I was like, and I literally said this, like, no offense, it just stinks so bad here. I need to get
I
and
wish I
he's-
could be there to see that.
and he was like unfazed by it, and he's like, I get it, I guess, but he's like, drive the speed limit.
Right.
So Corey finally wakes up and he takes over driving, right? And we've been driving all freaking day, and he's giving me all this crap about getting this speeding ticket, but he's continuing to speed.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, just wait, you're gonna get one too. It's like, you keep driving like this, you'll get one too. Right. And just south of Minneapolis, he got busted also going like 95 miles an hour. He got 89.
Oh,
He had like a $400 ticket.
Jeez.
So yeah, it was nighttime by the time it happened and everything. But like, so he got busted. So like, both of us got speeding tickets.
I love how you're good on the way down, but you're just not on the way back.
Yeah, and especially like following an ambulance, like they could easily be like, this car's been behind us for so long.
Right?
Dang.
That's crazy.
So then like, yeah, we finally get back, but like it was awesome. So long story short, Silver Dollar City is really cool.
That is really cool.
So Dallas City is very cool. I'm
So
excited.
to go back to the original tangent and all this, oh good, I thought it was Restream yelling at me again, but it was just Siri probably messaging something.
We are dumping a little bit of frames, but we're okay.
So lawnmower. So I go over, I pick up this mower, put a new battery in it. We have to go put a new front tire on it.
How did we go
There's
from
a-
that to Branson?
There's a hole in the gas tank. Who knows? Who knows? But that was the tangent.
Oh, we were talking about the temperature, and then your friends in Missouri or
that's
like whatever. And I was like, yeah, Missouri's crazy humid. And I was like, do you ever hear my Missouri story?
All right.
But anyway, so there's a hole in the gas tank. The belt slips. So if you push the clutch in too quick, it's got a clutch brake. So when you press in the clutch, it also applies a brake. So it's really easy to drive. You just in gear and then you let off the brake and you're letting the clutch out. It's really easy. Anyways, but if you let it out too quickly, the belt will pop off and then you just don't go anywhere. And so anyways, I get it home and I do all of this rigmarole to it. So I drive it around and it won't turn sharp to the right. It turns really wide. I mean, like I'm going to make my turn and I had to stop and put it in reverse and back up and then finally navigate. I could not just turn right, but it'll do it's like a zero turn going to the left. I don't know if the steering column is all jacked up or whatever, but it needs some work. So anyways,
You can just do all left turns.
I mow the lawn.
Oh, there you go.
And it looks like, a disabled Roomba cut my grass. It's just the way that I had to drive around to cut it all. It was the first time doing it. And, because it's weird. And then there's 3 water lines that stick up that I always mow around. And it's easy with a push mower. And it's like, you can't get it with a regular mower. And then I have a hill. And then I have a little pothole. And then so I dip into the pothole and come up and completely just shear off I do it. I do shear it off because then I know in the future I flatten the spot out. I'll never have to worry about it again.
How long have you owned this house?
2 years.
Lord.
2 years. But so, anyways,
I can get you a good deal on dirt.
so then you're right. So Kara is like, "Hey, I want to cook lunch. What are you doing? Can you come inside?" I'm like, "I gotta get done, and I have to weed whip.
Okay, well, here's the thing. So, yesterday I was home with Chip, and I was like, you know what? It's going to be a nice night. I'm going to marinate these chicken legs. We're going to grill tonight. We're just going to have a good time. I didn't know Jeremy had these plans to go to Cloquet to pick up the lawnmower, right? So Jeremy gets off work early and he's like, oh, I'm going to go to Cloquet. I'm going to pick up the lawnmower. I assume he's going to be home by 5 because he was off at 2:30, right? So I think he's going to be home by 5, plenty of time to grill and everything. 6:30 rolls around, still no Jeremy. And I call him up, I'm like, where are you? He's like, oh, well, the lawnmower had a flat, so I had to bring it to L&M to get it fixed, and they weren't sure they were going to be able to get it fixed today, so I'm just kind of hanging around to see if they can fix it. Okay.
You get a tire mounted. Anybody who's ever had a tire mounted knows my frustration. You can't mount a tire yourself.
So I had these grand plans to have this nice dinner for Jeremy when he gets home, but nope. Jeremy screwed that up.
I just want to say,
Chuck tested.
I hate
Chuck tested.
mowing. I'd rather snowblower do anything. I hate mowing the lawn. And the thing is, like, snow, you roll the dice. It doesn't snow all the time, right? So snow blowing is the thing. Grass will always grow. So there's a set amount of time you can go, and it's going to grow and be out of control. And our yard was starting to look like a hayfield, and I get stressed out.
I've got one word for you, Jeremy. AstroTurf.
Right, I know that's your claim to fame.
I've been for 25 years. I've been trying to convince my parents to put an AstroTurf at their house, and just chipping away.
Yep.
And like they're so close to doing it. They're close.
Do you buy it in strips like sod, or how does AstroTurf work?
Yeah, well, there's different variants of it, but yeah, it kind of comes in segments, and then they get like sewn together.
Oh, I was gonna say, so what you should do is every single time you go to mow their lawn, just put a new strip of AstroTurf in. And then you go and mow again, another strip of AstroTurf until their whole lawn is AstroTurf, and they'll have had no idea.
I think they'll be able to tell, but like, what's that neon green non-grass back there?
Okay, so I've been watching the Property Brothers lately, and they put down in California, one of the California homes they flipped, they put in a turf, but it looks really natural. It's not like AstroTurf lime green. It actually looks like grass.
Like a field turf type of thing or something.
You could use that. And looks really nice.
I'm sure it's outrageously expensive.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
So,
they end up selling the house for $1 million.
Yeah, there you go. Like where the housing markets go. I showed this to Jeremy. I don't know if he showed it to you.
Probably not.
When I was looking at houses last winter, there was a house that was for sale. It was listed for $120,000. I was interested in it, but the inside needed a bunch of work. It easily needed like $15,000 worth of work, right? Yeah. So I was like, and then with the type of loan that I was trying to get and everything, it just like, it wasn't going to work, right?
Yeah.
I get an email from Zillow 3 days ago saying, oh, price drop on a house in the area that you've been looking or whatever, right? Exact same house, price dropped from $240,000 to $220,000.
Yeah, and they just bought it November or December of last year, or was
They
it?
bought it in
So
December.
somebody bought it, flipped it, and now it's worth.
They think that it's worth $240,000.
Is it in Superior?
That was in Cloquet.
Oh, it's in Cloquet. Oh, well,
Yeah,
it's
it's
in
right
Cloquet.
on 17th Street.
It's in Cloquet. I'm sorry. Like,
So just back to my lawn mowing fiasco. So I get done mowing. So Kara gives me the Hail Mary. She goes, finish your weed eating, do your thing, right? So I go to the
because
garage.
I wanted to grill my chicken legs. I've been marinating since yesterday morning.
They're probably real marinated by now.
Oh, they
They're
sure were.
good.
They were really good.
See,
Super
I just made
marinated.
them better. That's all I did. So anyway, so I go in the garage. What can I find? My little remix gas can. Never made it in the move. I don't know. I can't find it anymore, so I had to go down and get
How
a
long has it
gas
been
can.
since you've needed gas for your lawnmower?
Well, normally I just take my mower and I just up against the side of the house and I really just get close but there's just it has been put aside. Well, I have regular gas for the mower, but this is just 2-cycle for the weed whipper.
Oh, I
So it's
see.
mixed gas. Yep. So it's mixed. So I go to the hardware store, get a gas can, get some 2-stroke oil, mix my gas quick, pour it in the weed eater, fire the thing up. It's absolutely awesome. And it's, it's got the thing, and if you just tap it on the ground, it gives you more blade. So I'm cutting, I'm about halfway done. I need a little bit more blade, and I tap, and I've never actually used a full weed whipping
Spool?
cartridge. I tap, and I hear a wing, zoom, and the frickin' blade was out. And so a chunk of green blade just went woo and sailed out across the yard. And I was like, see the little neon green floating piece of thing. And so I shut the weed whip off and I turn and look at it and I'm like, it's out. And I unscrew it. It's freaking out. That was my blade. So I'm like, I am not meant to finish this lawn today.
Well, so
You're gonna die of heat stroke, anyways.
at my grandparents' place, they used to re-spool their own.
Yeah.
So I use so you take the thing and you run the core.
Yeah.
Does yours have 2 sides or is it one?
2.
Yeah, so those ones are real annoying because you basically have to feed everything through.
Yeah.
And then so it's halfway in the middle of
and
the
then,
whole thing.
Wind it.
Yeah, and then you have to wind it up so that when you
that's
hit
annoying.
it, will spool
Yeah.
out.
Yep.
It sucked.
That's really annoying.
So yeah, they sell preloaded cartridges. You can just unscrew the cap and slap the new one in. And
Brad says, I just use grass color. Problem solved. And when I get cancer, I'll join one of those class actions and retire.
well, it's
Everything's known in the state of California to cause cancer, Brad.
Yeah.
But Brad, it's funny because have I told the crazy Raven lady? I think I've told this story
Yeah,
on the podcast.
you did.
But my neighbor lady just comes over and harasses me all the time. You're not using weed killer, are you? You're not using whatever now, are you? You just killed my Raven last year, and I don't even use anything.
We didn't even kill the Raven. We're like, we don't. There are people in our neighborhood that do use weed killer, and you can tell because their lawns are perfect. And we're not one of them. There's weeds all over, even the little prickly ones, the thorns. I mean, those are all over our yard.
We had a neighbor Bob,
Bad.
and he was across the street, one house down. And he was obsessed with his yard. Obsessed with his yard. And I used to mow lawns for cash or whatever. I never did a particularly good job, to be completely honest, because I'm not a fan of mowing, but I'm a fan of money.
Right.
And he was like, I'm going to be gone for a few days.
Oh,
Can
no.
you have him mow my lawn? Right? And so I just pushed the lawnmower from my house over to his house
Yep.
and mowed. He gets back and he is incensed because we had, I can't remember what it's called. We had some sort of something growing in our yard, right?
Yep.
That's transmittable.
Oh, no.
And he's like, you used your lawn. And he was freaking out because it was going to destroy
So the
his
shavings fell off of your mower and
yeah, it was
seeded
wood
his.
layout. So it's basically it was sprinkling this horrible
Zombie
grass
grass.
cancer all over his yard, and he was super mad. But he always had a perfect yard. He was that's all he did because he was retired. All he did was just work on this lawn.
Here's the thing: I give up on because I have too many projects, and so last year our sewer line had to have a chunk of it repaired. They dug up the yard, so I go and I get contractor mixed seed from our local hardware store, sprinkle it down.
Our yard
got
is
Kentucky bluegrass in one section. I've got Maryland green grass in the other. I've got some grass that just grows 4 times as fast
Yep.
as anywhere else in the lawn. And that's why it looks so bad. But
our yard is chunky because from where they dug it
Yeah,
up
I
because it's
know.
clay, and you couldn't just get that nice and smooth. And Jeremy tried last year, ruined some shoes in the process. But yeah, it's clay, and so you
And I throw it
can't
on bird
smooth
seed,
it
and
out.
birds come in, or the grass seed, and the birds come pick out all the damn grass seed out of the dirt. There's plenty of good worms.
At my folks' house, so they have a double lot or
Yep.
whatever, right? And so there's the front yard, which grows at one rate. Then there's the front of the backyard that grows at a different rate. Then there's the back part of the backyard that grows incredibly slow.
Yeah.
That one you only have to mow every third time. And then there's behind the fence that grows 40 feet every week. So it's there's some things that my dad used to have. It was every 2 days I was mowing some part of the yard. Because he wanted to try and keep it all even. So it's the front yard was every 5 days. The front backyard was every 7 days. The backyard was every 2 weeks. And then behind the fence was every 4 days or something. So it's there's this constant cycling schedule where it's there's one time where it's you mow everything and it takes 5 hours to do because it's they have the most uneven yard in the history of yards. Like they used to have a bunch of trees, and the trees came out, the roots died, and they make a void, and then it sinks down, right? Yep. There's literally no point in that yard where a push lawnmower can sit evenly. There's just not. So it's like you're going in, it's like the things like you're like this constantly.
I know.
Turning ankles. There's like big pockets, and nobody believed me when I was mowing the yard. But as soon as somebody else said about, oh my God, this yard is terrible, somebody should do something about it. I mowed that lawn for 20 years, twisting ankles and scraping freaking. Oh, I hate that freaking yard. That's why I wanted to be AstroTurf, by the way. Is this yard is impossible to mow. Like if you went and hired a professional person, they would charge you $1,000 to mow that lawn. That's how long it would take to do. You can't use a riding lawnmower. There's so many obstacles. Yeah. There's so much stuff around there. Like basically a foot out from the entire border, you're gonna have to weed whack all. There's probably like 19 linear miles of border in that freaking backyard. Like, there's a shed. There's a tree. There's the back steps. There's the freaking drainage ditch thing. There's the island. There's the backyard. There's another thing. There's an RV spot. All of it has to be freaking weed whipped, and like it's takes forever.
I hate it. Yeah, that's why I hate mowing. I absolutely loathe mowing.
Dude, Dad just did a skit on the 4 types of lawn dads or lawn men.
Was I one of them?
There was the your average lawn-loving dad. Not average, but your lawn-loving dad. And, like, he's like, oh, look at out there. He's like, it's time to mow that lawn. He's, like, looking at his lawnmower. He's like, do we want to bag it this year? Or do we want to just let it go? You know, let the clippings fly and go where they may. And, like, I mean, he's just going nuts about it. And then there's, like, the guy's like, oh, man, I don't want to mow. So... Jeremy.
Yeah.
And I forget, there was one other guy, and then the last one, he was so funny. He was like, Reginald, are you mowing my lawn? And like just going on about how he's got this guy mowing his lawn for him, and then his neighbor comes and his dog poops in the yard, and he's like, we have to sell this house. We can't keep it any longer. And it's really funny.
That's awesome.
I liked you, Dad.
We had a door-to-door neighborhood kid go by and knock on the door and like leave us a thing, and so Kara's like, "Oh, why don't you just do this?" And he'll pay him to mow, and he's like, "I'll mow on a weekly basis, yada yada. I'm looking to raise money. I am just too cheap to pay for someone to mow my lawn, though.
I will pay $1,000 a day for somebody to mow my lawn.
If Jeremy ever got to the point where he's like, Kara, I need you to mow the lawn at least every other time, I'd be like, nah. I'd give that kid a call. I'd be like, dude, you're coming to mow the lawn.
It's between $25 and $40, but I know I'm on the $40.
Where's this economy going?
I know.
I used to make $5 to mow a freaking lawn.
Really? I used to charge $20 for mowing a lawn.
Oh yeah, but girls can get away with that.
That's because it's mowing and a show. I'm just kidding. It's very sexist.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway.
There's all sorts of chat happening here. Brad says California causes cancer. I don't know if I read that or not. He just grows Skywalker OG. I don't know what that means.
Apparently, I said Kentucky bluegrass. Maybe it's Skywalker grass.
And then Whisper on YouTube
Whisper
says, do you think Anakin brought balance to the Force in Revenge of the Sith or Return of the Jedi? I think he brought balance in Revenge of the Sith because he basically, or between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope.
Yeah.
This is my operating theory, and you've heard it.
Yep.
It can only be balanced when there's like basically nobody, right?
Yeah.
You have 1 million Jedi and 2 Sith, so it's like he culled it down to the point where it was balanced.
Yeah.
So I would say in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope.
Yeah.
You got to pull up the river theory. That's a good way that explains the balance.
Then Brad said Anakin didn't bring the balance back because the Emperor didn't die. Mary Sue brought balance because Disney. Not a Rey fan, apparently.
Guess your phone. I don't have my phone. I just have to look up the river theory really quick. For
the what theory?
Whisper. The river theory.
The river theory.
I'll explain it in a second. Balance to the Force Valley.
Anyway, so mowing lawn sucks.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It really, truly does.
You know who you never saw mowing a lawn? Darth Vader.
Do you know how quick he just take his lightsaber like? Vroom.
That would be nice.
So this was a way I thought was kind of cool because people always like, you can't have balance, but we think about balance like there's something on this side and it's got to weigh the same as this side. So somebody said, here's how the Force works. The Force is a valley. So you got a valley. California, a valley. The galaxy is a part of that valley. Okay, so the galaxy is inside this valley. The dark side is a river that is running through it. and the light side is a riverbank. The valley would decay and die without the river, but when the river overruns the riverbank, it floods and destroys the valley. The riverbank needs to be strong so as to not permit the river from overflowing. It will never destroy the river, no matter how strong, it only protects the valley. So while a Jedi can be a stand-in for the light in the riverbank, the Sith are not the river. Rather, they are trying to destroy the riverbank so it may flood the river. The Sith are not the dark side. The Sith are using the dark side to pervert the valley. Darkness, like the river, is not intrinsically bad. In fact, it's necessary for the valley's health. But by using the darkness to overflow the river and destroy the valley, that's evil. By bringing balance to the Force, it requires their destruction, because then the valley and the river can coexist as they were. So if there was no Sith, they wouldn't need to be Jedi.
Yeah.
Based off that definition.
And that's ultimately where I go with the balance of the Force thing. Is like, and that's why I was like hoping that like if Luke never like had a new thing of Jedi, is like he says, time for the Jedi to die. We talked about this before.
Yeah.
If there are no Jedi, you don't need Sith. It's the same thing, just said backwards, right? So it's like, and then in terms of like balancing things out of this or that or whatever, it's like we came to understand that there were things that the Jedi weren't allowed to do just on like principle, but like Rey ends up doing it or whatever, right? So it's like I was hoping that she was gonna be the first like person moving more towards like that gray side,
the gray Jedi,
where you're manifesting all parts of the Force to maintain the Force, basically.
Maintain that riverbank.
So I think I inherently have a dispute with the riverbank thing by like the premise I don't like, because you're saying that the river has to exist for the valley to be there and stuff like that. It's like by saying that there has to be darkness, that there is light or whatever, you don't need light or darkness. The riverbank doesn't need to exist. Or the river itself, the valley doesn't need to exist at all. Like saying that, like starting from that assumption, I disagree fundamentally with the argument. It's nice.
Right.
But I was like, in my version, it's like you just move away from that thing into a new space. Like it doesn't matter that there's a river valley and a river or whatever. So it's like, because otherwise you need like, in that version, you need light and dark, and then some way to balance them.
Well, it almost becomes like chicken or the egg. Which one came first? So
well, no, but you don't need either.
Right.
You don't need chickens. Is the thing. That's where I'm differing. You don't need chickens, so you don't even have the argument for chicken or egg. That's where my fundamental disagreement with this thing is. Like it's like, so if you move away from Jedi and Sith, you're moving away from that valley metaphor. And you just have a person existing using the Force. So it's like they're intrinsically baking in justification for the dark side is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When it's not necessary. Because a person using the Force can do dark side things as long as they're not following Jedi teachings.
Right.
So it's like when you start unlabeling the stuff, you're stopping the justification for them having to exist. So if you just have bastions of the Force, and they're just there doing things, utilizing all the Force, you're not at that river valley with the two separate entities. You're now one thing. So, anyway, it's an interesting theory. I disagree with it.
You need a meme button. A meme button. Because we are a Star Wars. This is what we start as. I love people jump in. Whisper just took us and we're like that car that takes the exit.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like we're talking about, we right into Star Wars. You can make the transition really fast.
right?
I suppose. Brad says it's Yoda's fault anyways.
Everything's Yoda's fault.
Maybe nothing's Yoda's fault.
I mean, wasn't it all Qui-Gon's fault?
No, Qui-Gon was cool.
He brought Anakin in, though.
If he didn't do it, somebody else would have.
Yeah.
I mean, and then there was the council. You know, we don't grant you the title of...
Well, so, like, here's the thing you have to consider. If it's true that Palpatine made Anakin through the Force, he would have gotten him into the Jedi Order somehow.
Yeah.
Right.
Regardless of which Jedi ended up being. If that's
Qui-Gon just ended up being the patsy.
Well, yeah, it's like if that's what you choose, like if that is canon,
Right.
Palpatine would have made that happen.
Right.
So if it wasn't whatever, he would have found
He
some
was
way
playing
to...
the long con.
That's what makes his character so interesting, though.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
he's a good baddie. He is a good
Except
baddie.
for, like...
Well,
as of episode 6, he's a good baddie.
I heard this, like, the best thing, music to my ears the other day at work, and Derek comes up to me and goes, I just watched Revenge of the Sith the other night because I was really craving some Star Wars. And I was like, hell yeah. Speaking my language, bud. You got an itch, and the only thing that can scratch it is Star Wars. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Considering he didn't grow up with the movies at all. He only watched them because he liked the Marvel movies. And I'm like, if you like Marvel movies,
He only
like
watched
Star
them
Wars.
within the past year, hasn't it been? Or was it a year? When did he start at the base?
3 years ago. He probably watched
Has
it.
it really been 3 years?
Yeah.
Hot dang.
Carrot. Chip's almost 6 months old. We're halfway to having him for a year.
Time to get a refund.
11 days. He'll be 6 months.
Can be an angry baby.
He's fine.
He's fine at being angry.
You just can't ignore him.
He's definitely embracing the dark side of the force.
You can't ignore him. He cries. He fights sleep, but he's crabby when he's sleepy. He's a weird picky eater.
You're just describing every human being on Earth.
Yeah, Jeremy, if you get too tired, you get crabby.
I get crabby when I'm hungry and crabby when I'm
Exactly. Angry. And crabby if I ignore you.
And you cry about it all the time.
Yeah, I get crabby when Kara ignores me.
So, I mean, Chip is basically Jeremy.
Yep.
He gets hangry. Crabby if I ignore him.
But he's literally everybody. Like,
I suppose I do fight sleep.
Huh?
I fight sleep.
Yeah, Jeremy's like, on a work night, Jeremy's up until like 11:30, midnight gaming, goes to bed, gets up like right
5
before,
hours later.
right, and then later on that day, he's like, Karen, I'm so tired.
And then you take that regrettable 6:30 nap, and then you're all energized up to play more video games that night.
Right.
The cycle continues. Brad said Yoda's a comedy of errors and an inflated ego with a Napoleon complex.
I love Brad. Just you got a puppet character from 1980, that was just in one movie, and he
was in 5 movies.
Well, I know, but I mean, like, there's a first appearance.
6 movies.
Empire Strikes Back, and then poor Yoda.
Well, it's like when you like, I'm thinking about it. It's like when you look at Yoda, it's like, what does he actually end up like?
Well, that's what's frustrating is Sidious was under his nose the whole time. He couldn't figure it out.
And like, is he like the de facto leader, or is
I don't know.
like, they have all the other masters, but it seems like Yoda's the only one that is calling any shots.
It was pretty sick when the clones tried to mow him down, and he just
So I don't know. It's
in,
interesting.
cuts him up.
Yeah, he says Frank Oz was a genius, though. He
Oh,
was.
absolutely.
So, you listen to James Arnold Taylor's newest podcast, in March, I think.
I'm halfway through it.
That's Frank Oz's wife that he has on.
Really?
Yep.
I have not finished that one.
She has a book called Risk Forward, and it's just a book to help you like actually follow your dreams and stuff. But it's not like it doesn't give you like homework at the end of each chapter. It's just like, here's things you can do. Read through this book, whatever. Take it as you will. And then later on, they talk about how she's Frank Oz's wife. I was like, what? That's super
really
cool.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
yeah, and starts with V. Victoria, Vanessa,
Wizard of?
something like that. Huh?
I said Wizard of?
Yeah, right.
And because we talked about it on the podcast before, the one was Justin, for a follow-up, Charlie Bit My Finger sold for $750,000.
Oh,
Yeah. I still don't get NFTs. Somebody has a lot of money and doesn't know what to do with it. We should make a Rise of the Podcast NFT and sell it for $500,000.
Right. I mean, our
Brad-
little skit did really well.
What did?
Our skit,
May
the
4th,
Disney-
I shop at Disney one.
Yeah.
If NFTs existed back then, we probably could have sold it.
Right?
Yeah.
$230.
That'd be great money.
Brad said Yoda trained Dooku. He did train Dooku.
Yeah.
But Dooku also thought that he was like doing the right thing.
Dooku's dope. I love the character of Dooku. I love the character of Dooku because he's a Sith, but he's the least Sithy Sith. He is. He's the least Sithy Sith.
Because if I recall correctly, the whole reason he joins up was because
He believed in the Separatist cause.
Yeah, and he thought that he was doing the right thing for the galaxy by doing it.
Yep.
And he ends up getting his hands and head chopped off.
Yep.
Man.
It's a bummer. Double the pride, or twice the pride,
fall.
double the fall.
Yep. That sounds like a saying I'd say. Double the pride, double the fall.
Double
The bigger
midgum,
they are, the harder they fall.
AKA.
also known as.
Oh, so let's see. So lawn mowing, sunburn. Should we talk about a second, or do you want to just next week will be a surprise
Supplies.
for everyone viewing? That'll be really fun.
So you guys haven't watched Bad Batch this week yet?
We have not. The only episode we're not caught up on is this week's.
Disappointed. I haven't watched last week's or this week's.
Oh, I was gonna just talk about the thing, but I'll wait to talk about
What
the
thing?
The thing in the last week's episode.
It's just another Zillow Beast episode. I know it.
It's not another Little Beast.
No,
That type of episode.
It's a good
No,
one. No, it's just
no.
it's a fan service episode where they make a connection. That's all.
Okay.
They operate in their little network
Yeah.
of.
George Lucas is not coming on next week.
Sorry,
Did we ever
Yes.
talk about Dave Filoni taking over as creative director or whatever?
We did touch on that a little bit.
Did we?
Did, but I don't think it's as big as a deal as they made it out to be. I think he's like doing the same thing. He's just been given a
He just has a
1%
fancier title.
Kathleen Kennedy is still the creative director.
I think it should be Dave Filoni. I mean, Kathleen, nothing against her really, because she's been there, like we've talked about. She's been there forever. You know.
I know
Yeah.
that Emilia Clarke. I don't know why people. So she just got a Kira. From Solo. She got an appearance in a comic book or a big comic book arc made after her. So her character lives on, or at least gets like a
Well,
brief story,
okay.
some filler.
They needed to continue on.
It's a filler between what happens when Han's standing there and he says I'm Solo or whatever, and then leaves Kira in the dust.
Oh, so
Like,
it's
it
not a
fills in-
continuation
no, 'cause
after.
they're gonna. So what they're saying is they reached out to her and she 1,000,000,000% wants to come back for Star Wars.
They need to.
She has made so much money off Game of Thrones. She doesn't really need to act in anything anymore, and so she hasn't taken a lot of parts lately. But she wants to come back, and she loves working in the Star Wars universe.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. You can't just end Solo with showing Darth Maul. Like, you can't do that and then just leave us hanging. I'm sorry.
People for some reason didn't go and watch the movie, and all they look at is the dollars.
Because they were mad about The Last Jedi. But then everybody who went and watched it afterwards loved it.
Yeah.
And now they're regretting it. They're not regretting watching it in theaters. Or they're regretting it not watching it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. No, yeah, it's just like if they can't bank on it making $500,000, they're not going to do it.
Well, and then didn't Ron Howard come in?
Yeah, it
Like
came in halfway through,
and so they ended up redoing everything, and then that jacked up their budget.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I would love to see another movie,
I just think
movie like that, but I don't think it's gonna happen because they're like, oh, we can't bank on it.
I think they'll just slap something on Disney Plus, which I'm fine with.
Yeah, a show.
Yeah, they're just gonna do these like limited 8-episode like.
You
What
get
if-
more content anyways.
What if they did a mall show?
They need a mall show.
How sick would that be if they did just, even if it was a limited series, just Darth Maul, like they're doing with Kenobi? I would totally be okay with that.
I think
Because he runs a gang. So if they did it in the style of Mando, where Mando is like a bounty hunter, if they had
The Crimson Dawn or whatever?
Crimson Dawn crime syndicate mall, that would be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So
We
like
don't need more Jedi mall
I'm getting.
mauled out.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like the whole thing with Ahsoka. It's like I'm happy to find new characters. That's why I like the Bad Batch. It's new people.
Yep.
Well, no, I know. It's just my
Omega.
thing is it's just because they showed what they did at the end of Solo.
Kara
I
wants
just
solo closure.
I do. I
Well,
love.
so-
I hate cliffhangers and no closure to
We
them.
could maybe get some more Paul Bettany too.
Paul Bettany died.
Did he?
Yeah, Drake Ross.
Was he completely disintegrated?
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
that's true.
Kira flies off in his ship though. I don't know where his body is.
His body was in the ship.
I forgot what I was gonna say now.
Sorry.
No idea.
No, I'm fine with new characters and stuff, but I just want closure on the mall.
I remember what I was gonna say now. So like one of the worst things that I think that Star Wars ever did was give Darth Vader a backstory.
Oh, Vader a backstory?
Like once you start explaining stuff, like so Darth Vader that you never see is always infinitely cooler than the Darth Vader we're given on screen, right? Like the things that people talk about Vader doing, and the mystery and the unknown outside of it, and I think that's what I like about.
I wish
The reason people want to go and see more movies is because they hide stuff in corners and they don't give you that closure.
Yeah.
Like that motivates people to go and see stuff, but like you can't. There's a fine line, so I'm going to try to explain this like this. So J.J. Abrams is the master of the tease, but he won't reveal anything, so he won't give you any type of reward. There's a balance you have to have between like alluding to stuff, making stuff known, and then showing things.
Right.
And all he does is allude to stuff, and nothing ever comes of it. And that's what sort of drives me crazy about his stuff.
Well, I almost think
But
Palpatine was a really good example of that in the original trilogy.
yeah, you never saw him.
Referenced in the first one, a hologram in the second, and then finally an appearance in the third. Like, dope.
Yep. Yeah, and you didn't get too much of him.
Yes, you
And
got
so,
way
like,
too much Snoke.
Yeah, so it's like, so in that regard, like I'm happy to like, so like if for the last 20 years all we heard were like rumors of Darth Maul surviving and running this thing or whatever, like that would make it way more interesting. Like you saw him come back in Clone Wars already, and then do other stuff, and we've seen enough of him now that like he's not as interesting as he was.
Right.
And episode 1 is like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And how did he become such a BA dude?
Yep.
Right. And then it's like, then you get more. It's like, and it's good story and everything, but it's like it's not nearly as good as the infinite possibility that exists in your mind.
Right.
So when you start generating all this content and pushing it all out there, like this is why I prefer new characters. Like we have, like for example, if Boba Fett never came back in Mando, all we would have is like the speculation of what he could have been, or if it wasn't shown that he was the source of all the clones or whatever, right?
Right.
Like it just leaves like this. It's like, where did he come from? It like, and then be like, oh, he's not really a Mandalorian, but he's a Mandalorian, but he's not really a Mandalorian. Like
Right.
all that stuff. It's like if we never unpacked all of that and just left it like as it was, I think that makes him a better character. So like this is all just my own personal opinion in these regards. It was like I'd rather have new characters that are interesting and not just like drilled to death.
Well, if they did a series on Kira, she was only in Solo.
I don't honestly remember who you're talking about.
Kira, the Solo's
She's Han
girlfriend.
Solo's girlfriend.
The
In the
original one or
Amelia
the
Clark?
later one?
The later one in the Solo movie.
Oh, I don't care.
Yeah.
I care about her as original girlfriend more, honestly.
From the books?
No, from the beginning of the movie.
That's Kira.
That's her. She's the same one in the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
I thought he was running around with some other girl
No,
later on
that's
in the
her.
movie.
That's the same
In the
girl.
very beginning, the girl that he was
one that
Drayden
gave him the
Voss
dice?
and
Yes.
yeah,
The same person.
Same-
yep, same person.
Yep.
Yep.
She apparently made so little impact on me in that movie, I totally forgot she existed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like
So she's the one that ends up killing Drayden Voss, and then flying off in his ship after talking to
and
Maul.
like kind of like shows some background allegiance to Maul. But
Yeah. So that's what but like you said, it's personal. I'm the one that wants to see closure. I want to see like what they were planning on doing, and like they obviously alluded to more. It's like I want to know what that is. Like,
But the thing is, once they solidify it, it's not going to be nearly as impressive as what's going on right here.
there's
Like,
nothing going on right here.
You're thinking about all the cool potential, and like it's kind of like it's kind of like string theory, like with the many universes collapsing into the one observed one. There's literally infinite possibility when you just make suggestion towards what's going on. But it's like I'm hyped for Book of Boba Fett because I have no idea what it's going to be, right? So in my brain, there's all this possibility. As soon as it becomes a thing, it might be good, but it won't be nearly as good as someone just saying Boba Fett goes on to run a crime ring out of Jabba's palace. That sounds unbelievably cool, and it's like going to be okay. It's going to be something that I'll watch, but it's not going to... It'd be very hard for it to match just like anywhere your mind can go. So,
I'm okay with what I want my stories
well, you Kira, you just want to see what happens.
with Kira and Maul.
Yeah.
Brad's lighting me up. He said, "How dare you?" Probably because I forgot that what's her name was a person. And then he's like, "So to show you can't trust someone who doesn't like pineapple on pizza." And then I'm on my philosopher kick today. So like, yeah, this is Main Street, like the reason why I create content and what goes into my mind, or what mindfulness goes into the content that I try to create.
Right.
It's like, how much do you show? How much do you not show? Like finding that balance. Like, the most compelling characters are the characters you know the least about but understand the most about, if that makes sense. You understand Darth Vader is universe level badass, right? You don't need explicit detail because of the way that everybody acts around him. They're like, don't want to mess with this guy, right? But it's like, would you really want to watch 2 hours of him running around murdering all your favorite Jedi? Probably not.
In the VR experience, when you we went Shadows of the Empire, do you come across Vader in that one?
Yeah, you do.
So in that one, that one is really, really fun. So that is at the Mall of America they just put in, but we did it at Downtown Disney. You put your things on, and that's when you're dressed up as a stormtrooper. R2-D2's like this big compared to you, and then you run through this big story, and you get like a blaster, and you go shooting and everything. But at the end, you're like trying to recover this crate, and so you go and you get the crate, and out pops this lightsaber thing. It's like a actual sword that was like predated the lightsaber, and then you're like just about to grab it, and Vader just like all of a sudden like the box closes, and you turn to your left, and Vader's like marching towards you, and he's super tall and intimidating. It was the first time where I was ever like, that's what those rebels felt. They were in Rogue One, you know. So
sum total, how much Darth Vader did you experience in that?
20 seconds.
That's the exact right amount of Darth Vader.
Yep.
Because it hits you right at that moment of like, oh crap.
Yep.
And then you don't have to do anything. Like if the thing started off and you're like fighting against Darth Vader and doing that or whatever, like it'd be cool, but it wouldn't be nearly as cool. It was like that last second he does something incredibly awesome.
If it started off and then you're like going through the stormtrooper briefing and you're like, we work for Darth Vader. He was a young boy born on Tatooine. Let's look at young Darth Vader. It just gives you the
I think that'd be funny to do as like a comedy bit. Swanky says, this is one of those conversations I can't get into properly unless it's in person with graphics and whiteboards and internet and a few cases of Mountain Dew for it to be properly talked about.
There's a guy from, what is it, Always Sunny, and he's just like got the cigarette and everything.
Yeah.
See, that's what we need. During our barbecue next year, we're going to have to just sit and discuss all this. So Swanky, bring your whiteboard and your graphs.
I have a whiteboard in my car.
Do you?
Of course you do.
That's the whiteboard from here. It's me.
Oh, of course I know him. It's me.
That's funny.
Scratching it now because my lawn chair was sitting on it. Oops.
Right.
But it still works.
Right.
I think I got that 40% off at Hobby Lobby. Gotta love that 40%
Swanky says
discount.
that's the exact right image.
Yeah. See,
Yeah, conspiracy theory.
Well, before we wrap it up, Chris, you want to take us to Star Wars leaks? We haven't done that in forever.
Do we want to risk the internet?
Would you like me to?
Garrett could do it.
All right. Hey, here's a graphic we haven't seen in a couple months.
It's true. Let me
Should I do the whole spiel? Because we are a Star Wars. We've already been talking about Star Wars, so
I love this
Star
spiel.
Wars leaks.
Star Wars leaks. And what do you go by? Top for the week?
Top for the week, yeah.
All right. Major character returns in War of the Bounty Hunters #1. It's a comic.
There is so much Star Wars that I can't be caught up on because it's in a comic book.
Oh, and speaking, it's Kira.
There you go. Now you get your closure.
I want to read the comic. Oh, man. I should just really twist the knife for twist the Brad. Twist the knife into Brad because I get ads. You can sign up for Marvel Unlimited, and it's like $10 a month, and it gives you access to all the Marvel comic books, which is where Star Wars comes out on. So I could freaking get caught up in the Star Wars universe. I know Frankie wants me to finish Old Republic, the new Light of the Republic or whatever.
I want to enjoy comic books. My big problem is like the way that they're laid out. It's just like sensory overload to me.
Yeah, a lot of times it is.
It's hard for me to parse exactly what's supposed to be like I appreciate like the effort that goes into doing all of it and making it look the way that it does and telling the stories and everything. It's just not the correct delivery mechanism for me.
Right. All right, Carrie, you gave us a leak.
Yeah, because you guys keep talking. And then, I don't know, one just said Boba Fett doesn't take prisoners. Spoilers for War of the Bounty Hunters. It's more comics and just shows him killing off some people. And
oh, that part's actually really funny. So I saw that.
Yeah,
and
this one.
This guy, yep. And so he kills this droid, and then like the body is dead and he just has the head. He's like, "Oh, you'll see. You find me extremely valuable. I can get you into such and such places and make you all these credits." And it's this droid's head talking, and he just freaking tosses it off the edge of the bridge.
Yep, that's
It's
the
hilarious.
one.
Yep.
So let's see.
I am the
So
pulse of the
Gabe says, "Where's the listener mail banner?"
I don't have a phone to check listener mail because it's running the stream.
And then Brad says, "That sounds like a deal, Jeremy. I'll pay for Rise the Podcast subscription if you get affiliate."
There you go. Right.
So
You gotta start doing the Nuzlocke
Right.
and a Discord channel. Says Swanky.
I know. Swanky asked about that before. Swanky, have you been?
This is like
missing
a
the
month. This is like
Well-
1 month in of him asking for a Discord.
Well, I felt bad because he commented on Temple of the Videos that he's missed the IMDb game, and then I think is this his first appearance, and this is the third week. 2
Yeah.
weeks he's missed.
Yeah, this is that. So I don't know. Like, well, we'll do the IMDb game 2 weeks from now.
Okay,
I might do it next week. We'll see.
we'll see.
So Duncan Powell will reprise his role as Ruscott Melshi in Andor. Melshi was a rebel sergeant in Rogue One.
I saw that one as well. Not a big deal.
No.
It's it was like, oh, congratulations. The guy standing behind Chewbacca in the medal ceremony is still alive and is going to play his role in Star Wars. It's like, not a big deal.
Swanky says I could set one up for you guys and girls.
Do it. Yeah.
Do what?
Set up a Discord.
Oh.
I honestly don't know how to do anything on there except for yell at Jeremy while we're playing Satisfactory.
Oh, that game is the best game ever.
You've only had that game for a week, dude.
I mean, I
was looking at it, I was like, Jeremy's literally had this game for a week and it's like 500 hours in it.
It's so good. I'd still probably say, like, obviously it's apples to oranges or whatever, you can't compare them, but it's like, I probably think like Valheim is a more like, adventure and exploration and this beautiful world building and beautiful scenery and fun, like the scoring while you're sailing down the Viking River. And it reminds me of very Dark Souls, but it's the type of thinking and like like you're always so close to being an upgrade and Satisfactory, and like you're just right around the cusp of.
That's the thing, like when we were playing yesterday, when you got done, I played for like another 3 hours, like, oh, I'm just going to do this one thing. And then it's like 400 things later.
Well, that was me last night. I was like, Chris, I got to go to bed at 12 o'clock.
You said 11:30 first.
Yeah, because I was just going to hop over, but because I had your help, I was like, hey, you want to help me sit and hold the mouse button so we can make computer parts? Process some circuit boards because I was low on plastic.
Yep. So, yeah, like, it's a good game.
I can't believe it's in. I like Steam and I like PC gaming a lot. So, all right.
Anything else interesting?
I think Kara's out of Star Wars leaks.
I mean,
Is it all comic related?
mostly.
Or
and
Bad
it's
Batch
nothing
spoilers.
super exciting. Yeah.
It's early June. It's not Star Wars time.
Score for
Well,
Bad Batch finale was just finished.
We got just a couple more
nice.
minutes. We'll talk about. So I'm really getting into board games like a lot. So Chris and I have been going to a game night on Thursdays, and we got to play Sheriff of Nottingham, and that game is really freaking fun. So
I am the best sheriff in Sheriff of Nottingham.
You are, and it's funny. If we have enough time, we can talk
Yeah.
about it. But so Sheriff of Nottingham it's a game that it just purely relies on the quality of the game is going to be the type of personalities that you play with.
Yep.
100%. It all relies on it. But the long story short, there's just a deck of cards. You draw cards in your hand. You got to sneak them in to this little bag, and then the sheriff. So one player plays as a sheriff.
Yep.
He has the option to inspect your bag, and if you have stuff in there that you didn't say and you lied,
Yeah, you're trying to bring things to market, and you can try and sneak extra stuff in for more money.
If you lied, then you have to pay a fine, and that money goes
To the sheriff.
to the sheriff. So if he it's beneficial for him to catch you.
But if he thinks you're lying and he catches and you were telling the truth, the sheriff has to pay you.
Exactly. And so one of the guys we were playing with, it's very hard. It's very easy to obviously get one thing in. Because you can only you can't declare more than one good. So you can have like chickens, cheese, and bread, right? So you can't say I've got 2 chickens and a cheese. You have to say I have 3 cheese.
It would make it really hard, I think, like for simplicity's sake.
Yep.
I'm glad that exists because like it'd be really hard to be like, what did you say again? A goat, 9
Right.
mules, and 3 oxen.
But you could only put 5 items in, and so the guy we were playing with, he snuck in 5 chickens and he wasn't lying. So
What?
Gotta rise the podcast Discord now.
What? That's awesome. Brad put that together already?
Swanky.
Oh,
did.
Swanky.
Swanky, should I stream Satisfactory to there when we're playing?
Hey, that's awesome. Oh, I forgot. I love my Satisfactory game running so I can get a bunch of stuff.
You are evil. That's so funny.
Hilarious.
Chris isn't mining Bitcoin or any type of cryptocurrencies. He's mining in-game actual elements to make his game easier by just letting his computer run. Kara, out of all the games you see me play, do you have any interest in ever trying Satisfactory? Is there any appeal there whatsoever? It's like Minecraft, but you take the mining out of it by making machines do it for you.
I don't think so.
So, Chris, did I ever send you the funny meme?
His username is SwankyTK421, by the way.
That's awesome. So there was a meme, and it was...
oh, my goodness.
Oh, because you were hitting the...
Well, you got a little bit of the IMDb game scorecard there, guys. Sorry.
I saw a funny thing, and it was totally me, as I do it all the time at work, but it's like, let me take 10 days to automate a 10-minute task.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
but then it's a lifetime of savings.
It's a lifetime of savings, exactly. So, well, thank you very much, Swanky, for making our Discord. We'll have to hop on there.
I'm already on.
Comment in there if you like some of the things you want to see us do.
Wait, how do I find that? Then we'll go here.
I can invite you.
Rise of the podcast? I don't know.
Oh, my goodness.
I can invite you.
So, are you going to jump on Satisfactory tonight?
I will, but we have to drive to Brainerd tomorrow.
Yep.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, please. It'll be fun. Get out of here. Jeremy's just being a salty butt.
Brainerd is like worse Cloquet.
I'd rather live in Brainerd than Cloquet.
You will have fun.
No.
Here's the thing about Brainerd. It's not next to literally anything.
Exactly. Cloquet's next to Duluth.
Like Brainerd, like you might be better off driving to St. Cloud than Minneapolis at that point.
Yeah.
It's like if you drew Minnesota, Brainerd's like the dead middle center.
Well, here's the thing. At least Brainerd, Baxter area, they've got like a Target, they've got a little mall there, they've got Menards, they've got way more than Cloquet does. What does Cloquet have?
Duluth.
Walmart.
Yeah, we don't need it because Duluth has it.
But then here's the thing. Do you really like driving from Cloquet to Duluth?
No, who does? No one likes driving anywhere. That's why I don't want to go to Brainerd. It's because the drive. I hate losing time to driving. That's it. And we got copious amount of deer here that just frolic to and fro.
Yeah.
We had a fawn. We talked about that last week. We had a fawn in our yard.
See, we got deer even in our house.
So I've been through Brainerd literally hundreds of times. So we drive right through there to get to my grandparents' place. Oh, yeah. So that's like what we considered the halfway point. It's not quite halfway. But
that's like a long drive.
Yeah, it's 4 hours out to my grandparents' place.
Ew.
So, but yeah, Brainerd, like literally, it's like if you took Duluth and stripped off all the cool stuff and just stuck what Cloquet doesn't have onto Cloquet. That's all Brainerd is.
Right.
They got a raceway, I guess. That's something.
So you can go 95 and not get a speeding ticket.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the raceway isn't part of the highway.
Right. But, all right, Chris, you better take us out.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you guys for joining us. If you've made it this far into the video, congratulations. You've made it to the end of the video. Go ahead and give it a like to show that you want to see more content like this in the future. Comment down below with how you feel about Brainerd. I'm interested to see everyone's opinions. Just do a little bit of Wikipedia and decide whether or not you want to go there tomorrow. Subscribe if you're not already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time we upload a video or go live. I think it's a good time interacting with us, but then again, I'm here, so what do you do? Thank you guys so much for watching, and of course,
may the force be with you.